Ruslan, you're a rapper. Why are you making YouTube videos and vlogging? What is the point of all this? Are you trying to be some type of motivational speaker? Why do you have this YouTube channel?
Indie Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this hip scenario. Here we go.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Ruslan, hip-hop artist, creative entrepreneur. And yesterday's video was about why I made music. In today's video, I thought it'd be a great follow-up to explain why I have a YouTube channel and why I make videos. In yesterday's video, I talked about how I started doing shows on these bigger platforms in this micro tribe, this micro niche subgenre called Christian hip-hop. I had the opportunity and the privilege to do some pretty big shows with Lecrae in 2012, right as his career was on the trajectory. And I discovered that this micro tribe who believes in Jesus and believes in a lot of the principles and values that the Bible teaches, and just good common sense principles, were saying they believe these things and had the right theology and said all the right things, but they disconnected with how their lives actually looked. Meaning they said that they believed what Jesus taught, but when it came to issues like hard work, like diligence, like financial literacy, like building businesses, like success, like relational stability, they weren't really exhibiting and aligned with the fruit in the manifestation. And so I started my label that I believe is going to touch a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and it's called King's Dream Entertainment. Basically, what is the King of Kings' dream for our lives? How does God want our lives to look? What does God dream about us in the way that we would exemplify him in every single area of life? And the music was supposed to be the soundtrack for that. The music was supposed to be what people ride to when they want to be motivated, encouraged, when they're pushing through, when they're hustling, when they're building a business. Once I started doing the music, I realized I had way more to say. I realized that the music wasn't necessarily the best route or the only route to communicate some of these ideas, and to tell my own story of how me and my wife graduated college and we were $45,000 into debt, and our relationship was never bad, but it just wasn't great. And we set out on this journey through Dave Ramsey and some of his materials and listening to his radio show. We paid off $45,000 of debt in 18 months, and it brought us closer together, and it was the catalytic point that propelled us to become full-time entrepreneurs. We've been full-time with this music for 3 years. We live in Southern California, which is one of the most expensive places to live in the world, but it's one of the most beautiful places. And my wife stays at home with our son, and she helps me out with the business and fulfilling some of the stuff on the website. And we knew that to tell that story, I couldn't just rap about avoiding credit cards, right? And the mess that we made. I couldn't just make a bunch of songs about that. I couldn't just make a bunch of songs about doing things God's way. I could do some of that, but hip-hop is an art form. Hip-hop is a vehicle to capture people's imagination and to help shape their worldview. But a lot of it is parable-based. A lot of it is storytelling. A lot of it is sharing your story and connecting with people and creating lifestyle music. And that's ultimately what I want to be doing. And what I am doing is creating lifestyle music. But I knew that to get this information to people, to get the inspiration to people was the music. But to get the information and the inspiration to people, I had to use a different medium. And so that's how this YouTube thing came to be. I remember when I became full-time with the music, I was like, I got to do something. Because when you all of a sudden have a bunch of time on your hands, you're not quite sure. You've been working a job 8 hours a day. You're not quite sure what to do. And so I started my very first vlog. It was summer of 2015. I saw Casey Neistat. I was inspired by that. And I started my vlog on the King's Dream YouTube channel. I'll link it below. You guys could go watch the very first episode. It's called My Days of Full-Time Rapper. And I just wanted to capture my days and everything that it took to be a full-time rapper. And that kind of evolved into a podcast. We were doing a King's Dream podcast, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And that evolved into this channel where I started doing these talking head videos, and one of them went viral on Facebook. I made a video about no one cares that you're talented, and Bootsy Collins retweeted it and shared it on Facebook. A bunch of people got behind it. It was crazy. And so it's like, man, there's something in this medium of communication. There's something in this form of videos that people like and that people want to hear from me in this way. And at the end of the day, my heart is that of a teacher. I want to give people information, and I want to show people that if you're here, if you're in 2018, if you're in America, if you're able-bodied and if you're of sound mind, there's no reason why your life has to suck. There's no reason why your life has to be miserable. There's some toxic theology that's bled its way into the church, and it's taking a lot of the New Testament passages out of context, and it reads stuff about guys like Paul and Peter and Jesus suffering, and it's removing the context that they were under a Roman dictatorship in a completely different economy, in a completely different social climate, creating a revolution of faith. And so, yeah, they died as martyrs, but that doesn't mean that you have to live a terrible life because you're a Christian or because you want to do things God's way. We have to look at the Word of God holistically, and we have to look at Proverbs, and we have to look at Jesus talking about the parable of the talents and all these different examples of Scripture that God, if He gives you an able body, if He gives you a sound mind, if He gives you creativity, if He gives you ideas, that you are actually just as much in sin if you disobediently don't do the things that God's called you to do, as well as like flat out breaking a commandment. That it's still falling short of what God's desired you to do, and that's what sin is, right? It's falling short. And so that's why I want to make these videos. I want to break some of this stuff down. And for me, because I'm an artist, it's easier to speak to artists, and it's easier to speak about the things that I know, which is making music and being an independent musician. But I hope that these videos will branch out broader than that. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to be focusing on speaking to rappers, speaking to creatives, speaking to people that want to be entrepreneurs in the Christian space and outside of the Christian space, and using this channel for those purposes. Now, I want to make these videos better. I want to make these videos bigger. I want to do more B-roll and vlog stuff. But right now, it seems like what's working is just me turning on this camera talking. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I stopped putting music and instrumentals under my talks. And you guys seem to enjoy them more, so I have to be cognitive of what's working right now. But my goal is to branch off and get back to doing more interviews, to get back to doing lifestyle vlogs, consistent lifestyle vlogs, to show you what it's like behind the scenes of making albums. But that's going to require building a team and people. And so that's why I make these videos. And if you're in the San Diego area and you want to be a part of this and you're serious, I get hit up all the time by very flaky people or people that think I'm making millions of dollars, and so they're looking for a check or they're looking for some freelance work. But if you're in the area and you're willing to contribute to these videos and you're willing to help build this channel with me, the way my buddy Zach Sprazzo stepped in, we need more people to come alongside of this. We need people that can shoot and that can edit and have their own cameras and their own computers. At least have your own computer. We got cameras, we got tons of cameras, we got lights, we got a lot of equipment, but you got to be able to have your own computer, and you got to be able to edit, preferably on Final Cut Pro X. If you aren't in the San Diego area, but you live out of the region and you want to edit and you want to help create content, we're thinking about creating some meme style videos for Instagram and Facebook. We're thinking about creating more content. Doing Veda has been amazing and fun, and seeing the numbers grow and seeing the subscribers grow and seeing you guys engage in the content has been dope. And if you want to contribute in that way, it will start out as just kind of as an internship. You'll have access to me. I'll mentor you in whatever it is you want to do, but you got to be serious. You got to be willing to grind. You will kind of try it out as a trial period, and as the channel grows, I hope to employ people and I hope to pay people more money and pay people what they're worth. But that's where we're at right now. So if you're serious about YouTube, if you're a YouTuber and you're looking to partner with somebody that maybe has a bit of a bigger platform than you, if you're looking to just kind of hang with me and you see me and you're like, yo, Ruslan seems cool, I want to get mentored, hit me up. Easiest way to get a hold of me is always on Instagram through DM, or you can shoot me an email, ruslan@kingstreament.com. But that's why I make videos, man, and I want to make so many more. I want to make so much more content. I want to launch into a podcast. We're going to address the funding side of this in a few weeks, and I'm going to launch into something I think is going to be pretty special. But in the meantime, putting out the call, if you want to help with this YouTube channel, and if you want to help tell this story and empower, encourage, inspire people to live out God's dream for their life, hit me up. All right, peace.
Far away from him, incognito. Came in one way, incognito. Not leaving the same. On with the top down, waiting for the countdown. All grace, no wishes, no loans, no interest. Feels good, Tony. We the ones chosen.
Running late here unannounced. Nothing worse down. And I don't fit in to pretend that you blend like a front out of town. God stepped in and settled the account. Now you don't know what to do with the pounds. Take a view of the house, make it true till it's ours. I'm producing amounts, it's a nuisance, the house.
I am so
Ouch.